Hey, it's the Redeye stream number 176, the paranormal part 2. We started on Monday. And on Monday we told and we went on about how ghosts are real, at least the panelists, and I believe they are. Today we're with DDF Ghost Hunting. How are you doing, sir? And tell everybody about your channel before we really start.
Well, I'll be doing a lot better once I get this alcohol in me. But I don't know. The channel, what I do is go to supposedly or what should be haunted locations and film at them as much as I can. I don't just go for like 6 hours. I go over and over and over. And then a lot of times I'll go on YouTube and see what people consider paranormal videos, and then I'll debunk them. So that's something most people don't do is they'll say they'll debunk, but they don't actually debunk. And it's actually very easy to disregard all these so-called paranormal videos that people think are real. But yeah.
Well, that's something we'll dive into a little bit deeper here in a minute. Mole, tell everybody about your channel real quick before we get started.
I'm a skeptic. I interview atheists and I talk about I don't do a lot of paranormal stuff, but I do talk about some paranormal stuff and like ancient unsolved, like unexplained mysteries. I like to try to make sense of stuff like that. So pretty much I'm just an all-around skeptic in general.
Yeah, quote unquote skeptic. That's cringy as fuck. But anyway, we'll move on.
What I am, though. I didn't make the word cringy. Someone else did.
Yeah, fair enough, sir. Fair enough. The voice of one. You got a fucking channel. Shill it.
I'm just a complete and utter nerd. I would like to ask Mr. Ghost Hunter, are you also a plumber?
A plumber? Oh, yeah, that's from Taps. I got you. No. No, that show was fake too, by the way.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's something I really want to get into is Taps and how they fucking fooled me. I watched their fucking show for the longest time. I bought their fucking book, and I thought they were fucking presenting the truth. They were faking the shit, weren't they?
Yeah. What people don't really realize is paranormal investigations are very, 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 very boring. Hence why I drink, because it makes it more entertaining for us.
Right.
But almost every time we go to a location, nothing happens. And I mean literally nothing. So,
well, no, and that's something I knew we were going to dig into because like I said, I'm subscribed to your channel. I watch your work. You guys, I've yet to see you actually say there's a ghost at this location ever. So
I would love to be able to, but I've not been able to find anything. I mean, there's been a couple times where we've experienced what I would say other paranormal teams would say are ghosts, but you can't say a sound in the woods. Yeah, we've had some really weird experiences like footsteps, but like we can't say that it's ghost. Maybe there's something in the floorboards or in the woods, like an animal, or you just can't say, oh yeah, it's a ghost, it's a ghost. No, you can't because you're not sure that's what it actually is.
Right.
I mean,
I would like to ask you about EVPs real quick. I'm guessing you have a freaking voice recorder. EVPs. What's your thoughts on them?
Well, most times paranormal teams get EVPs. EVPs is they'll be in a room with a bunch of people and someone will move their foot. They might not realize it and they'll be listening to the audio and like, oh my God, I hear an EVP, but it was really their foot. Their stomach can growl because usually when you're doing this for hours and hours, you don't eat and your stomach will growl. Someone will fart and be too embarrassed to call it out.
Right.
Someone will whisper something. So most of these EVPs people are catching are nothing more than the team itself.
Right.
But
but what about the actual voices, though? I got to cut you off there. What about the actual voices that they catch?
Usually it's pareidolia.
That's usually, what I thought.
But I'm not going to say all EVPs are this because I have caught a voice one time, and it said it twice on my camcorder while we were filming. I'm not sure because some people say that it's radio frequencies, like a camera will pick up radio frequencies from other radios or CBs or antennas or whatever. But I don't know, like, I just think most EVPs are nothing more than the team themselves not doing what they're supposed to be doing while they're filming. That's why we use so many cameras, is because, I mean, literally it could be anything. Like, you move your foot and it could sound like something on, on the audio.
Yeah, but so was Taps actually faking the EVPs that they caught? Were they actually moving the? Okay, I remember watching one episode. He stayed at the Stanley hotel. The fucking
And the glass broke, and the glass broke on the table.
Yeah. Was that faked?
That I'm not sure about, because I did watch that. I was very interested in that. I have never seen anything close to that active. Like, that's like some movie TV type shit. Like, It just doesn't. I've just never seen anything like that, and I film so fucking much. It's just.
Where do you film? I'm sorry, I'm coming in late. I have a family.
I usually do most places dealing with Nazis and concentration camps and war locations.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Pretty much anywhere that could be haunted, essentially.
Well, yeah, no, and you are in Germany. I don't think that's something I'm not allowed to say, right? You're good.
No, it's all good.
Oh,
I mean, usually I post the names, actually, even. I've done some minor investigations at Sachsenhausen concentration camp, Neuagama concentration camp, the SS bakery, but that wasn't really an investigation. That was just walking around with a meter and cameras. But Neuagama in Hamburg has told us we can film on the grounds overnight, so that will be in the coming years. So,
have you gone into the Black Forest yet?
No, I have not.
You should go to where the old Roman encampments were and stuff like that. From what I hear, that's some really interesting activity areas.
I mean, I'm down to go at any place. Like I said, I mean, doing concentration camps, that's things that people haven't really done much of ever. If you look at paranormal groups, you don't ever see concentration camp investigations.
Yeah. But I think that's more to do with it would be one of those places that would be morally or ethically questionable to go walking about in, if you know what I mean. There'll be some people who would think that would be disrespectful.
That is actually a very good point. I was actually just talking to another paranormal group about this, but that would be the same case for anybody that was murdered at any location. Right. Doing it at a cemetery would also be, not okay in moral or ethnic, because these are people's families that did die. These are families that were murdered. It's just a different number of people that were murdered and killed. That's the only real difference. So, any of these people that are.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No.
I apologize. I was interrupting you. I apologize. Please go ahead.
No, it's just like all these people that support like Ghost Adventures, and they're like, "Oh, he's the greatest ever. He's the greatest ever." Well, that's not really the case. Like, he's using this paranormal equipment and all this stuff to make all this money, and like he'll go to all these locations. Like, I watched an episode where he did a suicide. There was like a recent suicide in this home, and he goes there and investigates there, and it's like, well, wait a minute. Would that not be disrespectful to the family of this man that just killed himself in this house like a couple weeks ago, or that whenever it was? I mean, it's the same thing.
Well, can I be a prick here and say, would you go to the suicide forest in Japan like fucking Jake Paul?
Absolutely.
I mean,
well, no, it was his name something else. His name was something else, wasn't it? Wasn't it whatever his name? It is actually one place I do question, because I don't want to find that. Like, I don't want to find somebody out there. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to laugh and make jokes like douchebag did, but that's a place I wouldn't want to do just because I don't want to find the body.
Fair enough. Okay. No, and you're not on the spot here, but I am going to be asking you questions because you're a new guest, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so
real quick, what got you involved into investigating paranormal?
Well, I've always been obsessed with the paranormal ever since I was a little kid. There was a TV show called Scariest Places on Earth, and it was like your modern day Taps or Ghost Adventures or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They went all around the world and ghost
I
hunted.
remember that.
I mean, that was a long time ago. So I started being interested back then, and I had an experience. When I was sitting at the computer and I saw somebody walk to like the back door, and then at other times I'd be like taking a shower and the door would just fly right open if it was fully closed. So it was little things in this one house that really got me going, like, what the fuck's going on?
Right.
And then it just kind of,
Well,
I had to take a giant break in between for another show that I did. But yeah, since that show has kind of ended, so now we're doing it like full time.
well, no. Can I ask you? Do you actually believe? Because most of your videos are debunking videos. So, do you actually believe?
Kind of, yes, because like I said, we have had some very odd experiences, which it was too odd to say. Yeah, it's just things walking around the forest, but like I don't know, like I film so much, like nobody knows how much I film. I mean, like I said, like we were talking about earlier, all these videos that you're seeing now that I'm just posting are over a year old, and I have even older videos that I haven't posted yet. Like that's how much I'm filming, and I'm seeing so little activity. I mean,
And you
Yeah.
take hours
activity.
and hours and hours of footage and condense it down to just minutes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay. Well,
some investigations are shorter. I will say some investigations are shorter, but we try to go back to every location as many times if we get some sort of sounds or anything.
Right.
We go back and go back and go back and go back
To make sure it's not just a one-off kind of thing.
well, here's a
It could
question.
be,
All right.
yeah.
I did a little bit of paranormal investigation years ago. I've seen some shit. That's what we were talking about on Monday. So I'm not going to revisit it right now. But what do you think about orbs? All right. So I caught an orb above my buddy's head, and it didn't
Okay.
look like a piece of dust. It looked like you threw a pebble in a pond, and it was a ripple effect on the picture. And I took like 5 pictures in a row, and it was only there once. Is that just dust, in your opinion, or
Well,
do
okay.
orbs
One,
actually exist?
I would like to see the photo, but I do not believe in orbs. Even camera manufacturers got so many questions about what these things are that they would put in the booklet. It would explain what orbs are, and it talks about reflection from the light. Like, okay, let's put it this way. Yesterday, I went and filmed. As I don't know, some of you guys know who follow me on Twitter. I went and filmed yesterday, and I filmed at 3 different locations, and I only used my phone camera because I didn't want to take a big ass fucking camera with me because it wasn't ghost hunting. It was just urbexing. Every location I went to, nothing but fucking multiple orbs everywhere I go. So like an old dusty location, you're gonna get orbs no matter what because there's dust. Hell, I could turn on my camera right now and walk through my apartment and catch orbs. Everywhere you go, there's orbs.
Is
And
it
also,
just like light refracting off the dust?
Well, no.
Yeah.
How do they look though? Does it look like you threw a pebble in a pond? Because that was the ripple effect that was in this orb that I captured.
Well, like I said, I would have to see the photo because that sounds very interesting, but that doesn't sound like a dust orb. But like I said, I don't believe in orbs because it always seems to be the same thing. But what you're sounding like, it doesn't sound like an orb. But I would like to see the picture if you still have it.
It's on my Facebook. I'll DM it to you on Twitter after the show. I'll go
right,
and dig
good.
it up.
I mean, like I'm always telling people I'm always down to look at what they think could be something paranormal. I mean, in the entire time I've done this, I've seen 4 videos that I couldn't explain, and I watch a lot of fucking paranormal videos. Like,
Well, no,
it's just
Well, I did some paranormal investigation back in the day before they had a lot of the equipment they did, or before they had affordable versions or even reasonably buildable versions.
back in one of the good days.
Like 2002. I mean, it's been a minute, but I know that we would go to haunted locations like houses and places where people would claim they've seen things move and stuff like that, and we would get zero.
Yeah.
Zero information. But where we really did get a lot of like strange pictures and odd EV readings, it was cemeteries. It was places where people came and focused on, somebody who had died. It was more places like that than where people actually died, in my opinion, from my own time doing paranormal investigation.
Okay, let me. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Say what you're gonna say. Okay. Well, see, the reason why people think cemeteries are so haunted is because they automatically assume dead bodies with, their spirits and souls. Supposedly, if a spirit cannot let go of their body, you will see like an orb, but not a glowing ball you can see with your eyes, not like only through cameras, supposedly. And there's actually a case that me and Hicks are planning on doing, not this year, next year. There's a forest where a girl was raped and murdered by Soviet soldiers, and supposedly every night you can see this glowing orb with your naked eye, supposedly. But that's different than camera orbs.
Well, yeah, no, I was just talking about in terms of where you're going to find stuff. And orbs are always questionable to me, mainly because I know how light works, and I know how light combined with water works. And I know that a lot of times when you're doing your filming, especially in outdoor locations, light refraction off of water is going to be a common.
You know what, Tema? That's a good point, because I took that picture that I was talking about right next to the Mackenzie River. Me and my buddy were hanging out after work right next to the river, but he wasn't facing the river. He was facing a tree. So it's a little bit different. But
well, it's just the water in the air. It's literally just how much water is in the air and what kind of light is moving at what direction.
Okay.
Well,
that would make a lot. Yeah, that sounds like, you're pretty correct there. What I do want to say is, fine, I'll go ahead and tell my story, because you guys brought up graveyards repeatedly. Once again, like I said on Monday, I was in the graveyard by the University of Oregon. It's right across from the old MacArthur Court. All right, they shut it down and built a new stadium, but it's right across from the old MacArthur Court. I'm walking through the graveyard, and I'm not drunk. I'm not stoned. Yes, I have weed on me, and yes, I have a backpack full of beer. I'm looking for people to hang out with, right? And I see these two people by a tree, and I fucking go, "Hey, what's up?" And they wave me over. As I'm walking to them, they fucking disappeared before my goddamn eyes, and I was sober. Okay, so I have seen some shit that makes me actually believe in the paranormal. Is what I'm trying to say.
Did they disappear, or did they just run away when they saw you?
You know what? Fair enough, you asshole. But no. They vanished before my eyes, dude. I'm looking at them, and they literally fucking vanished right before my eyes. And I'm also, when I was 8, I saw it was nighttime. I only hang out the graveyard at night.
Oh, come on, you got to do both, day and night.
Well, no, you do, because you get comparative analysis. You get, especially if you're looking for like EVP or any kind of frequency-based anomalies. You want to do daytime and nighttime. You need a control, because the sun kind of affects how a lot of these things. The radiation from the sun affects how a lot of these things work. So in theory.
Well, no, and I actually want to bring up
mathematically, theoretically in mathematics, I'm talking on like a quantum level, but.
Well, no, DDF. That's what I'm just going to call you, because that's what it's on the screen.
That's what everyone seems to call me, is DDF.
Yeah. Okay. So DDF. I saw you do a review on the Spirit Box, which sounds like a load of shit. Yeah, it sounds like a load of shit. But once again, I go back to the voice recorders. Which is better, like the Spirit Box or a regular fucking digital voice recorder?
Digital recorder. I would never use a Spirit Box again, because the easiest way to put this is they are looking for voices on the radio. That's what a Spirit Box is. It surfs through radio frequencies, AM, FM radios. So you're getting commercials. You're getting all this bullshit, and people think it's spirits. I watched one video in a cemetery. They were using the Spirit Box, and it goes pizza, Do you like pizza? Do you not fucking think there's fucking commercials about pizza? Like,
Right.
what the fuck is going on
Or
here?
ghosts really like pizza. One of the two.
Jesus Christ!
Like, one of my main questions is like, say if someone says they've seen a ghost, were they naked, or when you die, do your clothes become immaterial too and come along and become spirits as well?
No.
What about caveman ghosts? What about caveman ghosts? Where are those?
Why don't they fall through the fucking floor when they're walking? I mean, there's a lot of questions.
Hello.
Okay, Mole, you're being a prick, buddy.
These are logical questions.
Asking a viable question. Okay, let's assume that ghosts are real, right? And you got this ghost, it's a dead person, right, who cannot pass on for some reason. His entire existence is based, how he looks, how he can move, is based on his imagining, what he imagines. Yeah. If he thinks he should be able to walk across the second floor of a house, he can walk across the second floor of a house because he's basically an illusion. If you get my meaning.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But,
there's separate types of hauntings. There's the intelligent haunting, which you could have a poltergeist or a demonic entity, supposedly, or something like that. And then there is time is just rewinding itself.
Just time loops, you mean?
I want to hear...
That's called the stone tape theory. That's what it's called.
All right.
I want to hear Matt say demonic again.
Dude, you know what, Batman?
All right, Matt. How if intelligent hauntings? How does a ghost think if their brain is dead when they die?
Because
you've got to accept the premise of a soul, haven't you?
No, I'm throwing this at Tema. Tema, take it.
Okay, so when you're thinking about spirits and the paranormal and stuff like that, you have to understand there's a whole lot of energies and things that we can't measure. We can't.
You're right. I agree.
This is coming. I mean, I went to school for astronomy, so it's not like I have a great big background in it or anything, but because I didn't finish my schooling or anything. But from a theoretical standpoint, there is a whole lot of stuff we don't know about. So when we look at things and how we can measure them, we have to gauge how much we understand about the human psyche, the power of belief, because we've seen people cure themselves of cancer through mere faith. Mm-hmm. Scientifically, we've seen people do this.
Yeah, mind over matter.
So we have to take that into account when we're looking at things like spirits and the paranormal, that the human mind can actually create the effect it wants to see. And that kind of gauges how you measure and quantify what you consider the paranormal, doesn't it?
There's another thing that you've got to take into consideration. Something that has been scientifically proven that there are areas, and many of them occur in places which are said to be haunted, where there's an unusually high degree of electromagnetic activity normal in those areas. This degree of electromagnetic activity is known to affect the human brain, perception-wise. So that would explain away a lot of hauntings. I'm not saying it would explain away all of them.
Right.
Dude, you get a thumbs up. Dude, hell yes for knowing that. That is awesome.
Yeah. That and also in conjunction with pareidolia, because people want to see things, they want to find,
I spent on a dare. I spent a night in the Edinburgh Caverns, if you've heard of them.
Yeah.
Supposed to be about one of the most haunted places in the United Kingdom. I slept soundly. As soon as I'd identified the noises around me, people on the streets.
You're fucking Batman. You're Batman. Of course you slept fine. Come on now.
So I wasn't dressed as Batman at the time.
Don't build up his ego. I saw the Justice League. He sucks.
That wasn't me. That was Affleck.
Yeah, that was a different Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fake Batman.
Yeah, second-rate American copy.
So tell me a little bit more about these caves that you stayed in.
The caverns under Edinburgh.
They're actually pretty globally famous.
Yeah, it's supposed to be one of the most haunted places in the British Isles. I slept in them soundly. I mean, once I identified the noises, like people on the streets above it, coming and going to pubs and clubs. There was a nightclub very close to the area I was at, so I was getting the noise from that. Yeah, obviously muffled by the rock and that, but once I identified them, I didn't hear anything out of the ordinary. I slept soundly. But I do know people who've tried to sleep in them and couldn't.
Right. Well,
have you ever seen a ghost, Batman? I just have to ask you, because like I just
funny you should ask that. Funny you should ask that. I was about 15, and take this: my grandfather died when I was 8, but I was 15. It was summer's day, and I was digging this patch of garden for my father. And bent down, pulling the weeds out, and then I realised there was somebody standing in front of me. And look, there's my bloody grandfather in the suit he was buried in, laughing his ass off at me. I blinked and he was gone. I wasn't even thinking about him at the time. I have no explanation for that.
So the answer is yes.
I do have
I don't
things
know.
that have happened in my life that I can't explain with natural explanations. I've had 2 premonition type things where, like, I got a phone call and they didn't say anything out of the ordinary. Their voice was totally normal, and I just instantly knew something was wrong. That happened twice. Once when my aunt died, and once when my sister was murdered. And the third thing is I OD'd on methadone, and I was speaking to my dead mother. I don't know if it was just a drug hallucination or what, but I can't really explain that. So, I mean, there are unexplainable things.
If drugs are
I'll give you that
involved,
much.
if drugs involved, the anecdotal evidence becomes very, very dubious.
Right. Well, but the other 2 instances, I was totally stone cold sober. Totally stone cold sober.
My whole approach to the thing is, I mean, I do not disbelieve in ghosts. That's an important thing to take on board with me. I do not disbelieve in it, but I do think if there are such things as ghosts, as demons, and other supernatural entities, they're not supernatural because ultimately science will be able to explain them and quantify them.
Okay.
For them to exist, science must be able to identify and quantify them.
Right.
So these are not. What was the word I'm looking for?
Because when I say there's no such thing as a supernatural, I'm not discounting these things. I'm just saying that supernatural means that it's above science, and nothing is above science.
You know how you were talking about the magnetics, the thing. What if paranormal experiences are nothing more than like a parallel universe that has a thinner part of the parallel universe, and we're like catching images from that or something. You know what I mean?
Or there's some sort of neurological effect from that electromagnetic frequency that causes you to experience whatever it is you see in front of you, or that you experience in that moment.
Well, how does that work though? When you're just walking through a graveyard and you see 2 apparitions vanish before your very eyes.
I know it's crazy.
I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just saying, it's
but Dodge, you're in a very suggestible place if you're in a cemetery.
Right.
It's
I like cemeteries. I'm good there. Like, it doesn't bother me at all.
It doesn't
matter. No, but what he's saying is there's
at the back of your mind, you always know where you're at.
Yeah, dead people are there. You're going to expect things like that.
And most have the little ghost stories about them as well.
Well, no, the U of O graveyard actually has quite a few tales about it before, and I didn't even know that. I looked it up after the fact, so I didn't even know that. But no, there is some tales about the U of O graveyard. And the thing is, like, man, I was sober, dude. I was looking for someone to hang out with and drink with.
Right. I get you. No. But what about, say, for instance, like Richard III? He was buried under a fucking parking slab. I mean, don't you think that would have made him want to haunt motherfuckers? I mean, what causes some deaths to become a spirit and others to not be?
Unfinished business is what they say, right?
Everybody has unfinished business.
Not only that, some people might not know they're dead.
That one as well.
Okay, fair enough.
Some people
Especially if it happens fast.
Some people might just not want to go.
Who would want to leave this lovely place?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, what if you die and you get the white light and the tunnel, and you go through the tunnel and there's no fucker there.
Yeah, where the fuck's my guide? Like,
Yeah.
I got my 2 pence. Like, what's going on here? No.
My cab left without me.
Someone in the
Yeah,
comments.
I need to call an Uber. Like, goddamn.
I know St.
Someone in the
Gilles might be.
comments actually mentioned Hobson. You guys know who that is?
Nope.
No, I don't.
Well, whoever mentioned Hobson in the comments, that's really funny that you had mentioned that because I'd actually filmed a video with him before.
Yeah.
Wait,
It wasn't
Hobson,
paranormal,
the
but
rapper?
yeah.
Is that what you were talking?
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking watch his shit all the time. I like his music.
Jacob Jimenez is saying alternative universes are shit. They're only theoretical. No, you're wrong. They're actually not theoretical. They're hypothetical. Theories are generally proven and accepted. But alternate universes can be proven mathematically.
Well, that's what I think.
Well, no, Jacob.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, Jacob says I was hardly sober. No, sir. I was sober, looking to sell some weed and hang out with some people. Like, I was stone cold sober at the time when I saw that shit. Tema, go ahead.
Well, I think we have to remember a lot of it is that the human mind is incredibly powerful. The other part of it is electromagnetism is actually a really fascinating thing because it does so much. Like, it's different than regular magnetism. It works a lot differently and it has a bunch of different effects. And we don't actually entirely understand all the aspects of electromagnetism. You know, it very well could be that those are just shifts in energy where dimensions press against each other, since there's really no matter when it comes to dimensions. What?
We don't even know for sure what, if any, effects the electromagnetic fields we surround ourselves with in our modern civilization have on us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
so,
no, oh, go ahead, Tema. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, so, there's a whole lot of, we could be experiencing some sort of because we assume that time is linear because we experience it in a linear fashion.
Right.
So maybe the magnetic spikes represent, I don't know, where the wibbly wobbly timey wimey ball of stuff bounces off of each other.
I love the Doctor Who reference. That's awesome.
I mean,
that was a Red Dwarf accent reference.
Originally, yes, that's where it's.
I got from Doctor Who.
It's from Red Dwarf originally.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
I was fascinated to hear the Red Dwarf hat tip in Doctor Who, but because Red Dwarf is so not a child friendly show. But
no, it isn't. But anyway.
Yeah, totally off the rails now. Awesome.
Well, no. Let's dive back into the paranormal. Okay. DDF, what do you think about psychics? The guys that don't use cameras, don't do shit. They just go in there and go, I feel this, I feel that. Why are they bullshit?
I'm sensing somebody wants to talk to Peter, Paul, Roger, Bill. Yeah, I know Bill. You're fantastic.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think
they're complete bullshit.
It's just a form of being a mentalist,
It is.
It's like Darren Brown type shit.
Yeah, they do two types of things. They do cold reading, like what I've just done there, or when you go in, they have a little questionnaire to fill out, which you're assured has nothing to do with the mentalist act. It has everything to do with the mentalist act.
Well, I mean, you had people like Houdini that actually went after them and shut a lot of the seances and stuff down.
Are you guys going to let DDF answer the question?
Yes, we should. Sorry, DDF.
No, it's all good. They're complete bullshit. James Randi has had a foundation for years who offered $1 million to anyone who could prove there are some sort of psychic abilities, whether it be spoon bending, astral projections, psychics. And these are tested conditions where the people can't fake. And not only James Randi, but there's other foundations who also offer $1 million to anyone who can do this. And there's no one who has ever been able to actually do any sort of psychic or any paranormal type shit.
And that's
why I keep going back to the mind is a very powerful tool.
If I remember correctly, James Randi actually had Uri Geller running Scared.
Oh yeah,
There was
Yeah,
there's a famous British psychic, Derek Acora. You might have heard of him. Britain's Most Haunted, stuff like that. And they caught him out with, I think, the Channel 4 program where they're going on debunking people like this. And they had a few ringers put in the audience who went in and wrote down the stuff on the questionnaires. So when Acora's doing his reading, his assistant's speaking to him over his field headset. He picks on one of them and he's going, "Oh, you're such and such." Yeah. No, that's totally wrong. No, I just come in because because I didn't have nothing else to do. No. He's been caught out so many bloody times,
right?
Yet people still believe him.
And psychics are so vague that I mean, it's easy to read into. Like you're gonna want to. Oh yeah, that fits me. That fits me. Like the James Randi thing where he did the horoscope thing where he gave everyone a horoscope, and they all
in the classroom.
And then he said, "All right, now pass it to the person behind you," and it was the exact same one. People just read into it what they wanted to read into it.
Right, there's one thing I used to know about. I'm sorry if I'm taking up anybody's time here. I used to know about with occultists when I was in my teens. Going out drinking that. And one thing they all said: once a spirit has passed on, once a human soul has passed on, you cannot contact it for love nor money. It's gone. It's no longer there. It's somewhere else, beyond reach. Whether it's been reincarnated,
perhaps
the world.
Well, no, Batman. I mean, I would argue reincarnation. I would argue a couple other points.
Hold on. The occultists also say you can get the notice of beings, for want of a better word, that can do very good impersonations of the people you're trying to talk to.
So on Monday, Batman, everybody fucking decided that the Ouija board is evil and that no one should own one, and how dare they even sell them to kids. So,
it's about as evil as a pizza box.
I think they're brilliant. They prove the power of belief. I think they're a wonderful example of just how important faith.
Originally, they were sold as exactly what they are, a parlor game.
Yeah.
They were used for because it was kind of I don't know how you say it, when a man and woman back in those times together alone in the dark, it's kind of erotic, and like someone said, parlor game. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. Yep.
I went to basic training with someone who says they're like one of the rare few people who actually can get the Ouija board to actually work.
I'll get to work. I've done it before.
It doesn't work. It works off.
If you get in the right location, do the right chant, do the right setups.
No, you actually move it. No, you're moving it, and you just don't know it.
Yeah, it's
because one person starts pushing it subtly, and because it's moving, everybody starts pushing it in the same direction the person who's controlling it pushes.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like I know like 99% of the cases are fake. But there's always that 0.001% that actually can get actually working.
Me and a friend of mine, to impress some girls, we had a Ouija board, and we got these girls talking to Elvis.
Yeah, that stuff is fake.
Wait, they were talking to Elvis?
Yes, we had Elvis tell them that he was actually born in South
Elvis is dead.
Yeah,
I thought he was still alive.
No, Elvis is dead, and according to what the Ouija board said, he was actually born in South Tyneside in the United Kingdom.
Elvis is just like Tupac. They faked her deaths just to escape the media.
DDH, if you can hear me, you froze completely. Try jumping out and jumping back in.
No, there you go. You're back
now. You're back now. Okay, never mind.
I know you guys are talking about ghosts visually. What about feel?
What?
You don't see a ghost, but you can literally feel it.
Oh, that odd sensation of the cold and the hair standing up on your arms and things like that?
Yeah.
That's not a ghost, that's a presence.
Well, actually, that can actually be attributed to high EMF As Batman mentioned earlier, it can cause hallucinations. It can cause paranoia. You can get goosebumps. You can feel like someone's watching you. It can cause such massive things that, and people, and EMF can also occur naturally, not even just from like, your routers, your ovens, your all that shit.
Yeah, it comes off of trees.
Yeah.
It's part of photosynthesis.
So,
But I do have a story that kind of correlates with Phil.
If you feel something and you hear noises, that's not a ghost, that's a presence. A ghost is a natural, visible manifestation.
Yeah, I did feel like, okay, to my story, like years ago when my neighbor died, the family cleaned out the house. My neighbor said, my family's really family friends with the neighbor. They let my brother buy the house. And one day we was looking through it, all the windows were closed. It was locked. It was very stuffy. It was middle of summer. Now nowhere in the hallway, I felt a small breeze. And like I said, there was no windows open. It was like a subtle second. But when I felt it, I already knew that was my neighbor that passed away in that house.
Yeah,
why would your neighbor be in your house?
No,
Yeah,
they
no,
were in
yeah.
their house.
No, he died in the house.
They were in the house he died in.
Yeah.
Okay.
My brother does own the house. And we was touring the house, looking around, seeing all the stuff that was left behind. Like a big ass record player, you can't move unless you get special equipment.
Oh, like one of them old 50s ones?
Oh,
the
yeah.
Box. Yeah.
No, it's like 6 foot long.
Yeah, like a cabinet and shit.
Yeah.
The original entertainment center.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember them. We had one back in the day.
With an 8-track player attached to it.
Heck yeah.
You play with a Ouija board on acid? Are you crazy, JJ? Yeah. That's always a great idea.
Yeah, just give yourself a month-long bad trip.
No, that sounds like fun. I found what I'm gonna do tomorrow.
Hey, let me make sure you let me film it.
Do you have any... I'm sorry.
Go ahead. You first.
I was going to ask DDF, right?
Yeah.
I have the letters correct. Okay, good. Have you had any personal experiences that have left you questioning since you've started going out and filming regularly and looking and learning how to debunk? Since I've
started going out? Well, like I said, I had the first experience where I saw the person walk and then the door would always open when it was fully closed. But after that, I mean, I think I've seen shadow figures, but it wasn't caught on film. So I discount that. Yeah. But like I said, it wasn't caught on film, so I don't count that. Like I said, we've heard like filming at Lunar Lager labor camp, which was a forced labor camp for Polish women and children during the Nazi time. Like I said, like Hicks was sitting in the cemetery. I was in the woods, and you can hear from both sides like someone walking, and then behind him you can hear stuff. And then I'm way deep in the woods, and you can hear branches breaking all around, and you can see I'm not moving. And that would be what I would consider an experience. But like I said, I can't say that's ghosts because I couldn't see anything. It could have been animals.
Can I ask you, DDF, what is your personal opinion on it all? Are you skeptic or disbeliever or a believer?
Well, that's actually very interesting. Growing up, I was totally obsessed with the paranormal. I believed everything. I thought everything was all real. But once I started doing it, I started becoming way more skeptical. Like way more skeptical.
That's me.
Like everything is either fake. Everything is either fake, or people are saying it's paranormal when it's not and can be debunked very easily. They just want to get fame.
Perceptive. It's 100% perceptive. It's just somebody's experience. There's no way to measure it.
Yeah,
Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say a lot of it's like pareidolia. Like, oh, look at this! I zoomed in my photo 500 times. You can see a face. It's a demon. No, it's not fucking a demon. It's your shitty camera and you zooming in.
And the funny thing about analog photographs is they pick up detail that you don't realize. I was scanning into some old family photos for one of my relatives. I decided to mess about with one and zoomed in on this window in the background, right? It just looked like a black square in the photo. You zoom in, and there's a dog jumping up at the bloody window. I'm not saying it's a ghost or anything. I'm just saying that the dog was actually caught by the old camera.
What But Batman, we brought it up on Monday, but I figure I need to bring it up again. What about Amityville? What about the Stanley Hotel? What
Amityville
about...
is proven to be a fake.
Yeah, he murdered his family and he was looking for an excuse to blame it on someone else.
I don't even think the family was murdered. That was supposed to be the family.
No.
No,
Okay.
there was a family murdered in the building.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let's stop. Okay, I was obsessed with this story. The the DeFeo family.
Yeah.
Ronald DeFeo did execute every one of his member of his family while they slept. That is completely true. He did say it was demons, but now that it's become more, we know more about the human brain. We can know that he has multiple mental problems.
Yeah.
Right.
So the Lutz family was the second family who moved into this house, and they just abandoned it completely. They left all their shit in there, and then they signed $1 million book deal, plus all the movies and all that bullshit.
Right.
So people ask, well, why would they fake it? Oh yeah, definitely. They're definitely making money off it. And they're like, it's funny. People are like, well, why would they just leave all their stuff? Why? They signed $1 million fucking book deal just for the book deal. $1 million.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
I mean,
and they might have spooked themselves at first, I mean, they might have actually just spooked themselves. I mean, a fucking horrible thing happened there.
Yeah, they spooked themselves. And, hey, that's a great idea.
And like someone was saying, it's been proven to be fake. I mean, yeah, but people were murdered there.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I live in the United Kingdom. I live in the northeast, which at one time, was back and forward between Scotland and England, border wars and that. So the amount of grisly deaths around here,
right?
I shouldn't be able to take a step without bumping into a ghost or two.
Right, there'd be more ghosts than people.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I've noticed. Another thing, the older the cemetery, the less likely you're bound to find much of anything paranormal that you can measure. Okay, a lot of experiences can be discussed and stuff in places like that, but not a lot of stuff you can measure. Relatively young cemeteries is where you tend to get a lot more like the EVP or the EMF stuff. It's when you go, it's just two different types of paranormal, and one of them's quantitative and one of them's qualitative. It's very frustrating in terms of investigation.
Oh, there's only one place I felt spooked. That was when I was in the Territorial Army. We were doing an exercise on Dartmoor. Dartmoor is spooky, but that's because it's a damn lonely place.
Mm-hmm.
And hello there, Sharati.
Hi, sugar.
How you doing?
My head still feels like it's gonna explode.
This is not
That means
good.
you need to drink more.
I don't think that's going to help.
It always helps me.
Normally she would, but this time there's a special exception. So
yeah.
Oof.
No, I only came on here to yell at you people.
Why are we keeping you awake?
People? What do you mean by that?
Yes, yell at us.
No, because you guys were talking about electromagnetism, and I started thinking about me having my seizures.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just like, you guys don't really know what you're talking about.
God, for going on a live stream on YouTube.
Kind of do.
I'm just giving you hell, because I'm like...
You're using your Sharati privilege on us.
I am. I really am.
You should be ashamed of yourself, woman.
Why?
Why not?
What the fuck?
I'm not going to be ashamed of anything.
Right. The reason the fact
all right.
that why means you have multiple reasons to be ashamed.
No, I'm going back to.
Damn it!
I'm not letting you diverge us, Batman. Fuck you. Let's talk about the ghosts of your dead parents, Batman. No, I'm kidding.
We all know that Joker killed him.
It wasn't the Joker.
I
It
was
was the
just-
Joker.
I was
Ever dance with the devil, pale moonlight? That's the Joker.
Yes, I did, and he told me you're gay, Moondog.
He told you were a lovely dancer.
Yeah, Batman is a lovely dancer. He's wonderful. No, okay. So there's a lot of places in Europe to where you could really go do ghost hunting. Do you think you haven't found any evidence because there is no evidence to be found? Or do you think you just haven't found it yet? DDH, I'm asking
Well,
you. You're the one in Europe.
PDF, buddy. Come on now. No, that's
My
why
bad,
I'm
sorry.
just hoping. I'm just hoping that there is something out there. That's why I keep looking. I mean, maybe I'm just unlucky. I mean, but with how much I film, it's getting kind of unlikely. I mean,
Yeah, especially
like I said, there's been like I said, there has been, you know, like when we filmed Haunted Berlin, there was all these sounds in the woods. I mean, but very rarely does stuff like that happen.
yeah.
Maybe-
Then you don't know if that was like local kids trolling in either, do you?
Well, I mean, we had night vision, but we couldn't see heat, so I mean, it could have been animals. I mean, we don't know.
Have you tried doing all these searches after like a lightning storm, where there's more electricity in the air?
That's a good question, actually.
You know, that is, in theory, it changes readings. There's no actual proof of any actual thing. Otherwise, we'd be able to prove ghosts. But that would actually, supposedly, spirits are, you know, they emit
draw,
EMF. So
Yeah, they draw
So that would be a
electricity
good
from
one.
batteries and whatnot.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what Tim was saying about perception. An interesting thing. Back in the days when there used to be sightings of fairies, they were described as small figures, largish heads, big eyes, small mouths. And now we get sightings of aliens, small figures with large heads, big eyes, and small mouths. They're the same thing, only the perception is altered to fit our modern scientific age.
Right.
Yeah,
Still
well,
more
if
like
you
to fit
look
our
at,
modern television.
Yeah,
That's
it's still
more
If you
like
look-
to fit television.
it's still like the same illusory effects which are causing illusion, but it's been interpreted by a modern mind.
Talking about modern minds, you look at what people with epilepsy were perceived as.
Oh yeah,
They were
touched by the devil, I believe.
Yes.
Is that words?
Possessed by demons?
possessed.
Yes, but I think
touched
Strati is
by-
proof that that's true.
Oh,
No,
boy,
Cursed.
you're so
No.
sweet.
If that was the case, the devil would be looking for a priest to get exorcised. She'd give him hell.
There was actually a case where a woman had epilepsy and they refused, like they went to like one doctor and he gave a diagnosis like, no, let's take her to the priest. The priest will know what to do. And it was a demon and she ended up dying because she didn't get the actual proper medical attention she needed.
Was that Annalise girl in Germany back in the 70s or 60s that you're talking
Damn,
about?
you know your stuff. Yep. That's
Yeah.
her.
When you're on about beliefs in that, there was, I think it was the early 60s in London. There's a guy, he was a Romanian immigrant, found dead in his apartment. The doors and the doors and the windows had been smeared with a mixture of urine and garlic.
Oh.
That sounds like my weekend.
He'd
Sounds
actually
like a normal
died.
weekend for me.
He'd actually died, because he choked on a clove of garlic, a bulb of garlic, which he'd had in his mouth while he was asleep. Apparently, he was terrified of vampires, and as the coroner said in the case, in a way, vampires killed him.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, his belief in vampires did. They did absolutely kill him, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
People are very strange creatures.
Well, like, okay, I've worked in the medical field for 18 years, like hospitals, nursing homes. So, like, I've been around all kinds of death a lot. And I've seen a lot of people, they say they've had, like, spirit experiences. I, myself, have never had nothing out of the ordinary like that happen to me. Yeah, there's been times I spooked myself, but, you know, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're cleaning up a dead body. That's kind of spooky regardless. But, I mean, I've never had nothing like that I couldn't explain away with natural, explanations. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I think it just might be the way you perceive things. I don't know.
Yeah.
I love things I can explain. That's everything I want to explain. Oh, feel a breeze. You look for an open window. You feel something. You want to make sure there's no one watching you.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
you hear something. You want to make sure it's not a rat or something.
That's the thing. People love things that they can't explain.
Then you
We love a mystery. It's yeah. We're like hardwired to search for mysteries.
Yeah, it's the survival mechanism almost. We got to figure out what the mystery is so it doesn't kill us.
Yeah,
or it could kill us.
I think it's all related to endorphins.
Is it just the wind blowing, or is there a fucking tiger in the bushes that's going to eat me? That kind of thing.
Oh shit! No, it's a vampire.
Not the vampire, it's the El Chupacabra.
El Chupacabra.
The thing sorry, go ahead, Emma.
Unfortunately, I have to go. I can't get my kids to stop fighting, so my time is cut short.
I've told you before.
But I didn't even get to get drunk yet.
In Discord.
What? Yeah, I know. If I beat them into submission, I go to prison, and that kind of defeats the purpose. So
only if you get caught.
Emma, I've told you before. Horse tranquilizers.
Whiskey. Let them pass out.
NyQuil. Lots of NyQuil.
That's robo tripping.
No, horse tranquilizers. Because you can use
beat them anyway.
No,
NyQuil
he's right. It's called robo.
In it. That would be Robitussin, actually.
I've never seen that while I was still in school.
Robo tripping.
What was that about robot tossing?
Robitussin.
NyQuil won't make you robo trip, but Robitussin will. NyQuil will get you wasted though, get you drunker and shit.
I've never seen that robo tripping while I was still in school when it was the big deal.
Yeah, I haven't robo tripped since I was like a teenager. I don't think I'd want to do it again either.
Back when it was cool.
Yeah, back in the day.
Okay, you guys have a great evening.
Yeah, you too.
Good luck with the child.
Bye. Thank
you.
Bye.
See you, Emma.
Bye, sweetie. Hope you feel better.
Me too.
Me three. Then I can pull out the soundboard and torture you with
You
Dalek.
just want to banter with me.
No, I just want to torture you with Dalek sound clips.
Well, I want to dive into this whole paranormal thing a little bit deeper. Who on the panel actually believes and who doesn't?
I do disbelieve.
Moonog believes.
I don't believe.
So everyone don't believe, except for I'm kind of like the person here, really?
No,
I'm
I
with you on that.
I don't believe, but I can't rule it out completely. I mean,
I don't disbelieve.
Yeah, I mean, it's anything's possible, I suppose.
Moondog believes.
I believe because I've seen it. So
I've heard it.
That would be right.
Felt it. I never seen it.
Okay, let's put it this way. I've seen something and I've heard some things, and I'm still kind of meh.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what makes your channel so cool with the ghost hunting thing, because you're coming at it the way Taps really should have from the beginning. And that's what I like about your channel.
DDF is one for you. This is going back to when I was a kid. I mean, this is back in the 70s. This only ever, it's not ghosts, but it kind of relates because this only ever happened during the summer. Yeah, the months leading up to summer, through summer, and into early autumn. Start when the nights were getting light, and I'd be in bed, and I'd see these little shadows, about the size of a grown man's thumb.
I think he means the 30s.
No, I mean, theory. But they're about the size of a grown man's thumb. But they're very sharp, very distinct shadows, human in shape. But they used to jump and cavort all over my bedroom. From when I was lying in bed wide awake to when I'm getting drowsy, go to sleep. But the thing is, I never felt threatened. Quite the opposite, really. But as I got older, I saw them less and less often until when I went through my teens, it's just gone completely.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me say there's a few theories on kind of what you're mentioning. one, children can be more perceptive and they can see things with their open mind that us as adults cannot see.
Yeah.
And that would explain if you actually were seeing something, that would explain why it faded as you got older. Or you could have just been a cute little kid and had, imaginations like, we all did. Like I had imaginary friends and seen shit, but
That's where the way I tend to believe it. I mean, like I said, this is the United Kingdom, and we do have a rich tradition of fairy folklore.
Mhm.
But I tend to err on the side that it was just.
So are you
my
saying
belief.
you used to play with fairies?
No, they just used to dance about me bedroom.
Okay. Batman played with fairies. That's interesting. No.
So
He's
did
never gonna live
Charles
that
Dickens.
down.
So come on.
But just because you've seen something doesn't necessarily mean it makes you a believer. Is
Right.
one of the points I was making with that.
Right.
It can be anything. As you get older, your mind gets usually more analytical.
You might see something. It might be a reflection or from the car light hitting a window.
Yeah.
Or a
Could just
moonlight
be,
hitting a window, mirror or something.
yeah, or it
Well,
could
no,
just be by me being
I'm
sleeping
leaving. Bye.
and misinterpreting shadows.
I was going to bring up something that we brought up on Monday. The ghost car urban legends. What do you think about those?
Why would a car have a soul or a spirit? Let me ask you that. Like, why would a boat have? What the fuck's wrong with my controller? Do you see what I'm trying to point out though? Like the ghost boats, the ghost cars. That makes no fucking sense. Because, like, say spirits are real, then a soul would have to be real, and cars do not have that. So that's just people looking for attention. People, what is it called? When you see something that's not there, an illusion,
Misinterpretation.
that type of shit. Yeah, that's a perfect word for it.
Yeah.
Like there's many videos online, like cars that just come out of nowhere, or animals that come out of nowhere. Those are optical illusions. That's the word I was looking for. Optical illusions.
Yeah.
From people can't see something from one side, and all of a sudden, because they couldn't see it from that one side, boom, there's a car out of thin air. They think, oh my God, I just saw a ghost car, or I just saw a time traveler. Like Oscar, he points out Oscar did a video, or Oscar John Kell. I'm sure most of you know who he is. He did a video on a suicide guy, a guy who just appeared out of nowhere. But if you look at it closely and slow down, you can see he's trying to kill himself, jumping. He's trying to, I don't know how to explain it. Like the truck was blocking the people from seeing him from behind.
Yep.
But yeah.
And then when they could see him, it appeared that he just appeared out of nowhere. Then, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then you get things like the black-eyed kids.
Oh God, no, not those.
You don't have to go very far into researching that to realize some reporter made it up in its entirety, and it's just caught on like wildfire. I mean,
not only the black-eyed children. Yes, I think it was like they started. I want to say in the 80s. At one point, I did some research on it, but it was a long time ago. They started recently, and all of a sudden they caught on like wildfire, like you said. Same thing with Slender Man. He was made from creepypasta. And all these YouTubers find him supposedly on film and on their YouTube videos. All of a sudden, that's where they find him.
I mean, I love the black-eyed kids, but I know they're fake in their entirety.
They are.
Shadow people, I'm not too sure about. If
that's the first. That's the first thing I ever saw. That was paranormal. Was a shadow person in Eureka, California. In our old apartment, the shadow was darker than the dark hallway. My cousin saw it as well, and we both stayed up for hours because we were freaked the fuck out.
Well,
and all we heard was a bathroom door shut, and nobody ever came back.
That could be.
Are you sure it wasn't a black person?
The bathroom door shutting could be shutting in a nearby apartment or anything. But the fact that you saw it could be you've misinterpreted shadows in the darkness, which is ludicrously easy for human vision to do. and you're so convinced of it, you convince your cousin, and they saw it as well.
Or vice versa. Yeah.
I'm not saying what you didn't see was what you saw wasn't real. I'm just saying that's the most likely interpretation.
Well, no, that's fair. That's fair enough.
But from what I've learned about the shadow people is the idea of shadow beings. It goes back as far as writing. I mean, it is an easy fucking idea to come up with, and it's a very obvious one to come up with as well.
Right.
And let's face it, shadowy things do play into our primal fears, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's an actual phenomenon with shadow people. So I mean, there is a thing there. I'm not the only person that's ever seen one. Just
hold on. With that being said, though, like I said, I've experienced what I think could have been a couple, but then again, so people more than a couple have said, aliens come down and stick things up their ass and plant chips in them, and so I mean,
we all know that's actually the homosexual helicopter brigade.
What?
I said we all know that's actually the homosexual helicopter brigade.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Someone actually mentioned something in the comments. They mentioned binary. There is a device that Ghost Adventure uses, and more than you can count, paranormal investigators use. It's called the Obulus device, which spirits supposedly manipulate and turn readings into words, right? Which makes no sense. In order for them to do that, they would actually have to understand and read and write in binary for this device to work. Total bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
The sound of the device sounds bullshit.
all the devices are bullshit.
Well, not necessarily all. I mean, the thermal camera that Taps used. That's the one thing I think they did do right. I mean,
that's theory, though. That's theory. There's actually no proven evidence of anything. Otherwise, we'd be able to prove the paranormal exists. But there's actually none. This evidence, almost 100% of this evidence that people are calling evidence is them not knowing their equipment. Like, they don't know how cameras and lighting works. They don't know they don't know that the equipment is actual total bullshit. They don't know it's lack of knowledge of, like, they don't know how to debunk. It's total bullshit. Like
ghost balls. You were on about earlier.
Orbs.
Orbs. From what I've heard, the vast majority of the sightings of these things are in warm, humid areas where you're going to get light refraction through the atmosphere, creating them anyway. And dust.
Oh yeah, okay. Not only that, but actually, it's actually anywhere. Anywhere there is dust, water, breeze, air. Because people are like, oh, the orb in the video moved unlike anything ever. Do you know how small a piece of dust is? Like, for fuck's sake, like, how small is dust? And just the slightest breeze, you couldn't even feel the breeze, and it can move dust in crazy ass ways.
There's another cause for these orbs, which has been pulled up on a lot of examinations of these photos and films. Insects.
Yeah, that's what
rods.
Small insects.
Yeah.
Rods are actually a very interesting thing. Cameras, like, in fact, I've experienced this, and it's an insect that when you take a photo or even in video, it makes the insect look very long, and it looks like they have like 60 wings.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a piece of spaghetti, an uncooked spaghetti with wings.
Well, no, but I do have a question, real quick.
Exposure that
I have a question though, real quick. If you take 5 or 6 pictures in a row and it only shows up in one, isn't that a little bit of evidence in the favor of the picture?
No,
not even.
Your camera would have to be so fast. I don't think there's a camera fast enough to catch it. Like, if you took, say you go click, 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 even faster than that, your dust would be gone.
Yeah.
You'd have to be like, I couldn't even mimic the sound. How fast it would have to be.
There's a setting on a digital camera where you take like 5 pictures in a row. You just hit a button.
Not even close enough to being fast enough. Do you know how small dust is? Do you know how the slightest, like the breeze could be so small you wouldn't even feel it, and it could put so much dust in front of your camera. Like next time you're by your TV, just look as close as you can to this dust, and look how one speck. That's all it is one speck.
I wear spectacles. I know what dust is like.
Yeah, well, exactly. The smallest, like a blade of grass, would take so much more wind to move than to just this piece of dust. Like I said, anytime like I use my phone camera, my phone really picks up dust orbs. So anytime I go out filming, hell, I can film in here with my camera on my phone and get them every time.
How do the orbs look though?
Well, like if you're talking about that one with the rings or whatever, like I said, I want to see the photo, but I can't judge it without seeing the photo. But it's usually just a single dot. But before you say anything else, people go, well, this is a blue orb or an orange orb. That means it means this or it means this. First off, how do you know that color means something specific? Second off, you can buy a sweatshirt or a T-shirt, and you can go and slap your hands on top of it, and you're going to create different colored dust depending on what color clothing you have. Mm-hmm. So if you got a red T-shirt, you clap your hand over this red T-shirt, you're going to get red orbs. So it's not going to be one fucking color. That's just fucking stupid to think you're going to have one color orb for everything. It just makes no fucking sense.
Oh, here's one for you. This is going again back to my school days. We had a camera club in my senior school. And one of our projects was we had to take a convincing photograph with convincing effects. So I mean, good idea because he was in the drama club, so access to costumes. We got a camera, we got a sturdy tripod, right? Took a photograph at this local castle, right, with the tripod. And then he moved into camera view, and we took a photograph again. Camera hadn't moved an inch. Then he moved out. Then we developed it. Hey, presto, ghost photo, which looks absolutely realistic.
Yeah, it's actually Most Haunted. I'm sure you guys know of Most Haunted over there.
Oh, God, yeah.
There.
Yeah,
one of their recent one of their recent photo tricks was done exactly how you said with the photo, but it was with video. That's what you do is you film a hallway with nothing, and then you film the same exact hallway with something, and then you just lighten up the footage, and boom, there is your invisible ghost. So it's also a video trick, not just a photo trick too. So yeah.
It's fun, isn't it?
Well, no, I get that too. And like, okay, how exactly was Taps faking their shit? I saw some episodes where photos actually like spun 360 degrees. Were they using fucking strings and shit?
More than
like,
likely.
were they really faking it all the way?
They either got strings or they got a little mechanism behind the wall.
I've never seen 360 because all their stuff, well, until recently, but all their stuff was with old cameras back, at least when I watched it. But they have been caught doing things with strings. Like there's one where one of the guys gets pulled and you can see the string or the wire, whatever you want to call it.
I've never seen that video. There's only exposing that.
You just YouTube Taps jacket pull, I think it would be under.
Yeah,
it'll come up. No, what were you gonna say?
Alice Plouts, I probably mangled that name, is saying it's all fake. Doesn't matter if it is all fake or not. It's still a mystery. It still deserves investigation.
Well, no, and they did the Stanley Hotel. They did the Asylum. They did some good work. Moondog, you said you had some stories that he couldn't debunk. How about you tell us one of those stories? Let's see if he can debunk it or not.
Well, see, the thing is, I have to see videos or photos. You can't just tell me a story.
I mean,
fair enough.
It's actually it's a voice that I heard that I can't really explain. I mean, to tell the people I was with, they can't explain it. We was at a lunatic asylum. It was like one of those lunatic asylums that you can really easily pay and stay over the night. Mm-hmm. We had heard down the hall. We heard a big crashing noise, we automatically thought someone was hurt. So we start calling down there just in case someone else there wanting help. We call down there, hey, is anybody hurt? Anybody hurt? We're more focused on if someone was hurt. And out of nowhere, a little girl's this high. All three of us heard it. And there's no way she could have hid because there was a door that led up to a hallway that was lit up. So the door was opened. We would have seen it. And we looked through the rooms that's all to our left. It was to my left. The 6 rooms that we explored. No one was in there. And when it was stay out in the hallway, just in case someone's hid and trying to run and play tricks, there was nothing there. And I was literally the youngest person in this asylum.
Can I add something to your story? Is it okay if I add something to your story?
Yes.
They're ghost adventures. Everybody's heard of it. A lot of people like it. There's an episode where they go to a mental institution or an insane asylum or a bedlam, whatever you want to call it, and they're filming outside in the daytime. And this is a paid location too, which I think you said that was as well, right?
Paid location.
Okay. They're at paid locations. They have security there. They usually sometimes even will have police there to keep fans away or to keep people out. And they're filming outside, and all of a sudden there is a very loud bang. Like I'm talking very loud, very, very loud, as in like a desk falls over. In the episode, they go, "What was that? What was that?" And they go and they explore in this building. Nothing, but a desk had been flipped over. What you don't see, and the true story behind this, is there were people urbexing in this paid location while Ghost Adventures was filming there, that someone accidentally flipped over a desk by it was like leaning up because you see it in the beginning of the video, but they had tipped over the desk by accident or paid, which I don't know, whichever you want to believe, but they had knocked over this thing. And then in the Ghost Adventures episode, they showed nobody. They supposedly looked, but it was really a person that got caught there urbexing at a paid location. So,
but who would let a 10-year-old little girl run around in like pretty much in a bank? It's not really abandoned because the people who do this paid location, they use the money to rebuild it up what it used to look like.
First of all, can I ask a question?
It's ward equals an error that used to be. It's pretty much you have to be an adult. Like literally, you sign a waiver, you have to be at least 20 or older. Just go in there.
No, I'm saying like.
Can I ask a question?
I was trying to point out that urbexers, you don't have to be any age. You break into a location and you explore old abandoned places. That's what urbexing is. You don't have to be any age. You don't sign a waiver. It's illegal, but people do it.
Can I ask a question to clarify a point? What do you mean when you say paid location? Because I'm thinking a place where they have tours.
Well, it's a building. It's pretty much like an asylum that's been shut down. Some people bought the property. They know the history behind it, but they know like it's because it's all abandoned. A lot of glass is broken. It's pretty much almost in. You cannot really walk through it.
Yeah.
They pretty much make it up where you can walk through it, and advertise, "Hey, you pay us like $50. We'll let you stay from like 8 o'clock at night to 3 in the morning."
Right. Paid location.
Then they lock you. They lock
That's
you
pretty
in.
cheap.
Right. I'm just using $50 as an example.
In that case, you're saying that there was no place for this person to hide. It's a paid location. That means it's a commercial enterprise.
But one thing, when we heard it, it was like the third story. So anybody trying to jump out the window, if they're doing a combat roll, but if it's a child, they're not going to do a combat roll 3 stories up, and they jump out the window.
But like you said, it's a paid location. That means it's a commercial enterprise, right?
It's not really commercial. They try to keep it private.
But
they don't really advertise out there. You really do internet searches for it.
Have you considered the possibility that they might have made cleverly concealed area where they could hide? It's not beyond the bounds of possibility.
Can I actually add something to the added part of this story to what he just said? I think it was Batman that just said it.
Yep.
A lot of people don't know this, but since I'm so deep into the paranormal, there are locations that hire companies. There's actually companies for this that hire companies to come and fake hauntings. You'll get EVPs, you'll get fake photos, you'll get fake videos. They do this and you actually don't even know that it's going on, that the location actually hires. So this is actually a real thing that locations that people investigate at will film at and not even know that they're set up like this. And they're designed not to be found.
Yeah, I can well believe it. And then again, it might not have been anybody there. It might have been a remote activated recording. It could have been
Yeah,
real. You never know.
Yeah.
Like saying, I'm not going to discount the possibility. I'm just pulling up the more reasonable.
I mean, if it was like a recording, like a trigger recording, like you said, it had to be like here. But those things, I think it was made back in like since the Civil War days. So it wasn't really the roof, like ceiling of the wall floors were not really those push tiles that you can easily today's modern stuff. So the only way you can do it is literally cut into some part of the drywall, put in a recorder, then have like a small string, like with that.
No, they go a lot deeper than that. They go a lot deeper. Like I said, they can trick people with photography and videos. Even like you can see like glowing balls of light and shit. These guys are clever as fuck.
I mean, it's like for audio.
Obviously, they charge. They charge for this, obviously, and audio. Yes, obviously they do audio. But the people investigating, like you said, as a pay location, the people investigating don't know that this place is rigged like this. And even someone who's trained and is looking for stuff like this, they are that good. That's their job to hide their equipment, their ghost fakery. It's their job to hide.
I know one thing humans can't do is really make the air feel very heavy.
No, that's your imagination.
Expecting ghosts, expecting something. That would.
I mean, like, there's one part of that war that I felt that the whole place, I'm fine. Just one word, it just feels too heavy.
There's a house in my town. It's been abandoned since 1977. It's supposed to be haunted. Nobody will live in it. Me and a bunch of friends, not long after, it started getting a reputation, went in there one night, and a couple of them, really cold. It's getting cold, and they were shivering. They were freezing. It was a summer night, and I was still sweating because I was hot. They were expecting to see a ghost. I wasn't. I was expecting to be in an empty house. Your mind can play tricks on your body, and therefore your body.
I was expecting to see something, but I didn't really expect to feel anything. It's just that the whole war is fit so heavy because it's where they put all the violent people in.
Yeah, so, and you know the history of the place, which adds to
I didn't know any history of the place.
My
friend, like, first time I went there, it's like my friend said, "Hey, you want to go to haunted location?" I'm like, "Okay." We went there. I didn't expect to feel anything heavy. I expected it might be a ghost, might be breathing from the window. Didn't really expect anything. But it just felt that.
What if it was an unhealthy amount of EMF? That can cause hallucinations, feelings. It can cause all that shit.
One section, one ward, but the floor above it, you can't feel nothing. The floor below it, outside in the hallway, it's just when you walk that path, it's like a wall. You can't feel it when you're in the hallway, at the doorway, in the hallway, outside the hall. You can't feel nothing, but as soon as you walk, it's like opening a door that's you have the heat cranked up to 11. As soon as you open it, that big old rush of heat smacks you. It's like doing that without the smacking you when you're in the little outside the dorm. You'll be past the door just to feel it.
Well, see, I got a location that's literally like, 15, 20-minute walk from here. It's an old war bunker from the war, obviously. They call it a gunner shack, where they would kill people that, were going by. That it's one room. It's just one single building. You walk around it, there's no EMF. But when you walk inside of it, there's all of a sudden there's EMF. And not only that, the EMF moves. It's not constant. It moves constantly. So, I mean, maybe it's the same type of shit. But then again, I also think that could be one place that is haunted. I've recorded some really weird shit out there. But, like, I don't know. Like, it's everything I always catch is always sounds. I never catch anything. I've never caught any shadow figures on film. So, I don't know. Maybe it's the same type of shit. I don't know.
There was a story. I mean, I think this is entirely fictitious, but I remember hearing a story about these ghost researchers down in Surrey, I think it was, investigating this manor house, which is reputed to be haunted. And they catch this figure on the film, indistinct, blurry. So they start staking out the areas where they've been captured it. Catch this kid with a sheet over him, doing the ghost thing, right? They think it's funny. They laugh and they let the kid go away, and they tell the owners of the house, "Oh, do you mind describing the kid?" So they describe the kid. And, you come with me. Takes them into the private areas of the house because these manor houses, they've got the tourist areas and they've got the place where the people actually live. Went to the private apartments, showed them this photograph album. Oh, is this the kid? Yeah. Well, it died of diphtheria in 1935. I mean, yes. I think it's made up, but it's still a good story. It's also a variation on a hell of a lot of older stories as well.
I would love to see a ghost. Never seen one. I just would love to see one for the first time.
There's something else that interests me about a lot of these paranormal investigators, especially the ones that are kind of dubious.
If it's on televised now, then they're dubious and fake.
And you hear about what is supposed to be real hauntings and that. People get injured. People get possessed. People injure other people because they're possessed. Then you get these paranormal investigators going in and nothing happens to them.
Well, actually, most of the time, things do happen because they don't debunk or they're fake or they don't know their equipment. Most of the time, things do happen. That's why there's so much paranormal evidence out there. It's because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know their equipment.
You know what I mean by
or they want to be famous.
Possessions.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them do get possessed. Most of them get possessed or they get scratched or these things that magically happen on ghost adventures. Bullshit.
Do you explain how do people get scratched out of nowhere?
Well, have you ever actually seen it yourself?
No.
To be perfectly honest, I've got to admit, if I was an natural,
I would know people out of nowhere get scratched and you're wondering where it came from.
If I was a natural ghost, I've got to admit, and one of this came around where I was supposed to be haunting, I would go out of my way to make my hauntings look fake.
Where people had someone with a sheet over them with 1,000 holes cut through it, like Charlie Brown does.
I think the vast majority, if there are such things, I think the vast majority of hauntings and sightings are either people outright lying or it's all perceptual misinterpretations.
That's like doing a ghost hunting myself.
Or wishful thinking.
Because I want to prove a lot of this stuff wrong.
Yeah, right. Wishful thinking as well.
What do you guys think about cryptids? Do you think there's a chance that that there are creatures we don't know? I mean, obviously there are creatures we don't know about, but Bigfoot or werewolves and stuff like that. What do you guys think of cryptids? The chance of them being real?
I believe in the Mothman.
Werewolves are incredibly doubtful.
Yeah, I'm sure of that too.
That's actually, in reality, that's an unanswerable question because there's so much shit. I'm not saying there's werewolves or vampires or chupacabras. So you can't just say, do you think there's crypto shit? Because obviously there is some shit people have seen that is real, undiscovered things, but Bigfoot is not going to, Loch Ness Monster, no. Shit like that, that's not. Right. But people have seen undiscovered species and reported it. Technically, that's crypto. So people seeing that there you go. So you can't really answer that question.
I get what you're saying.
There is a Chinese version, Bigfoot, which roams the bamboo forests, but apparently, its description resembles a giant bipedal ape which died out around the end of the Ice Age.
Oh, the Giganticus. What's it called? I can't remember the
Gigantopithecus.
Yeah, that's it.
Apparently, the environment which has been cited in is the environment which paleontologists reckon this creature roamed, this Gigantopithecus thrived in anyway. So that is possible. I'm not saying it's true.
It is possible. I mean, the world's a very big place, and there are still, uncharted territories.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who's to say
I would-
something isn't hiding out?
I would love Bigfoot to be real, but I don't think it is.
Right.
It's that one footprint. Only thing you see is what made me a skeptic on Bigfoot. You're in the middle of nowhere, in a big ass snowstorm. You see one footprint.
Yeah, that's the Yeti.
So wait, you saw one footprint, and that would make you think it's real? Because what did he portal there and then step 1 foot out of the portal and be like, nope, it's too cold. I'm going back in the portal.
That made him a skeptic.
Yes, I'm but you see one footprint, okay, there's no trail. How can anybody believe in a Bigfoot just for one footprint? At least be a trail, especially a damn muddy stream. But it's only one footprint.
Right. If a Bigfoot is real, that means it's an animal of some sort, and it would have to follow the same laws of physics we do. It has to walk.
Yeah.
It can't just.
Mind in the Bigfoot believers' favor, the cries of Bigfoot say, "Well, how come you haven't found a skeleton? Then how come you haven't found a bear skeleton?"
Right. That's true. How often do you find stuff like that?
Yeah. It's incredibly rare to come across even a single animal born out in the wild.
How often do you see?
Well, animals usually, when animals are about to die or wounded, they go and hide themselves.
Yeah. A lot of different animals do that, don't they?
Yeah.
But the problem.
Even then,
go.
Scavengers will find the corpse, and the corpse will be dispersed over a ridiculously huge area.
Mm-hmm. And then the bones will be probably chewed on, gnawed on, and then they will probably, they won't know, even if there is bones still left over, they wouldn't be pristine, They would just, be gnawed on bones.
I keep wanting to say DDP. Sorry for
Thomas Dell's page.
Yeah.
Self high five.
DDF, you were saying.
Well, I was going to say the thing that people are forgetting, they're like, oh, cryptozoology, Bigfoot. If there is a Bigfoot, there's nothing special about him other than he's not been found. He's just a unfound ape. That's it. He's not magical. He's not mythical. So I don't know why everyone's like the world, oh, it's so amazing. It's Bigfoot. It's so paranormal. No, it's a fucking ape if it's real. That's it.
Apparently, there's some. If the reports are anything to go by, there are some at least one definitely unusual aspect to Bigfoot as an ape. Oh no, the fake spoon bending.
Bigfoot.
But you can't do that?
Yeah, but I don't like breaking spoons to do that.
Spoons are expensive. That's not
one of the unusual thing about Bigfoot, from what I've heard reading sightings, is they can emit a skunk-like odor.
That's a skunk ape.
Maybe they're just potheads.
Maybe Bigfoot's a pothead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's skunky.
There were whole communities of mountain men went disappeared. Maybe they're the descendants of inbred mountain men.
There is a large sighting of them in California. They might be fucking filling up in the pop fields.
I do not believe in the Yeti, the abominable snowman. But the Nepalese legends say it's a carnivorous creature, right? And there was this debunking program for Fantastic Beasts, it was called. Debunking them, and this guy, naturalist, he's called, well, let's have a look at this. The Yeti supposed to live above the tree line, where there's no food for an ape to eat. There's no trees, there's no grass, there's no fruit. Complete discount folklore. Which, if you do the proper scientific debunking, you do not discount the folklore, because that's part of what you do debunking.
Mm-hmm.
But even if it is a wholly carnivorous creature, it could not exist above the tree line where there are no herbivores to eat.
Right. I'm almost positive there's animals that we haven't discovered. I mean, look at the coelacanth. They thought it was extinct for millions of years, and they fucking found one.
It is. It's a time traveler.
Also,
but you're right.
Still haven't discovered the Amazon rainforest.
Yeah, I mean, the Amazon rainforest is huge. I mean, you know, I mean, they look at what about like what are them things? I God, I can't remember the name of them. The things that live in
Mexicans.
no, not Mexicans. They live in
There are
they
things
live
that
around like they live around like thermal vents and places that are very sulfuric and acidic. What are them called? You know,
Icelanders,
some kind of files, like megaphiles or but
extremophiles.
Pedophiles?
extremophiles. That's it, extremophiles. I mean, so I mean,
Yeah,
if them exist, and I mean that changed the way we thought of life in general. Who's
Yep.
to say that there's species we don't know about? I mean, that's not that
Well, there is. There's
you
everywhere
know
you go. There's species we haven't discovered. The
right.
rainforest, the sea. So
Well,
that
Oh, the
that makes those
sea
crypto
expression.
animals.
Yeah.
even in city streets, there are insects. There are apparently estimated to be insect species that live amongst us that we have never noticed.
They're called bugs.
No, they're what the FBI use. But I think the greatest place for undiscovered species has got to be the seas, the oceans.
Yeah, because they're huge. I mean, who's to say what's at the bottom of the Marianas Trench?
We do not know. We don't have any kind of equipment that can go that deep. Only sonar, and
That's the
not
problem.
Right.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, say we get to the point where we discover every scrap of information about the planet we live on. Literally everything. Catalogue every species that's ever been, every species that is, every phenomena is known to science. That's going to be one boring fucking world to live in.
Right, where there's nothing that's surprising anymore, no mysteries, no nothing. That would suck.
That'd be almost impossible because of evolution. Species always changing. As soon as you discover one species, a few years later, that might morph into a different species.
With our control over the environment, which is actually increasing, who's to say we can't stop evolution in its tracks? Because evolution...
You cannot stop Mother Nature with evolution.
You can actually. If you stop the evolutionary pressures on a species, it will not evolve. That's why Homo erectus remained the same for over 1 million years.
See, you mean take the natural selection out of natural selection and stop evolution that way, you mean?
Well, evolution happens by beneficial random mutations. The benefits are improved by changing environmental pressures.
Well, okay, sorry, my son
was that?
yelling. My son yelling right behind me. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
But what about the experiment where they actually measured the weight of a soul? I
Okay.
mean,
Oh, wait. Matt,
Yeah.
I stop you there already. That was done so wrong and completely faulty that if you look more into it, it was done completely wrong and it was actual bullshit.
Yeah.
How can if given that a soul exists, a soul would be a form of energy. How can you measure the weight of energy?
Right.
Well, they measured the weight loss, which was about 2 ounces, and
But there wouldn't be a weight loss.
But there was something that they didn't take into account. I don't remember what it was, but they've since proven that this was bullshit.
Yeah, and it was never replicable either.
Yes.
it wasn't. You couldn't replicate it because the Catholic fucking hospital wouldn't let him replicate it.
Correct.
He had to try and do it with animals, and then the animals didn't have a weight loss.
Always think
Correct
religion
me
for
if I'm
advancement of America, advancement of the world.
But a fresh battery weighs exactly the same as it. A battery weighs exactly the same from when it's fresh to when it's depleted. Correct.
As a dead one, you mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the energy's gone from that battery. Well, all the potential electrical energy has gone from that battery. It hasn't changed its weight. So why would a soul leaving a body change the weight of the soul? Change the weight of the body, rather.
Those 2 ounces came from the soil that said the dead body.
Pardon?
When dead body, they probably released their bowels, so they're pissing and shitting themselves, losing those couple ounces.
No, they wouldn't because they were on the same scale with the shit and piss. As they died, they were on the scale.
Yeah, but like I said, if you look into this more, you'll find out it was done wrong. like I said, if you look more into this story, because apparently a lot of people know about this story. If you look more into this story, you'll find out it was done completely wrong, and it's been discredited so long ago.
Who did it?
It was back in the 30s, wasn't it, or 40s, something like that?
Trying to prove the existence of a soul.
Yeah, they were. I mean,
right.
I'm immediately to prove religion is right.
I'm immediately suspicious because that's not how science works. Science works where you come up with an idea and you set about trying to
replicate it.
Yeah, replicate it and disprove it. If you can't disprove it, then it becomes a working hypothesis.
Hypothesis or a theory.
If they only did this experiment one time, that makes no goddamn sense. Like, I could say that I'm going to drink my bottle and it's going to refill, but if I have it makes no fucking sense. Like, it makes no fucking sense. Like,
nope, it doesn't.
Like I said, they disproved this a long time ago. Like, and a lot of people do still believe it was true, but fuck, man.
Well, a lot of people still believe
it's called the 21-gram experiment, and there was a scientific study published in 1907 by Duncan McDougall, a physician from Haverhill, Massachusetts. They say that the experiment was flawed due to the small sample size and the methods used, as well as only one of the 6 subjects met the hypothesis. So only 1 out of 6 times was there any noticeable change.
And see that right there. If in order for something to be at least logical, it would have to be 4 out of the 6 times. If I'm not correct,
right.
I mean, it has to be 4 out of the 6 times. Yeah, that is an anomaly that you discount.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. So I'm a little drunk already, and I'm only like barely into my alcohol.
Well, no, and we're approaching 2 hours, and I'm not going to push you too far. I do appreciate you coming on. Any last thoughts before we sign off here?
I'm very glad I caught this stream.
I need to drink more alcohol. That's what I think.
Well, no,
even that kind of.
We can hang out after hours too. We can hang out when it goes off air. But no, it's been really nice to meet you, man. This is the first time I actually got to talk to you. We followed each other on Twitter for about 1.5 years now. But this is the first time I actually had you on. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I think I've been on with you on other streams as well before.
Maybe with Staggerson at one time, if I'm not mistaken.
It could have been, because I used to be on Stags all the time. Like, I used to be all the time on his stuff.
Yeah, that may be that.
This is the first time I've ever actually come across you. Oh, talking about supernatural stuff that's fake. Can you remember? It started off on Facebook, and the amount of people who believed it was real is staggering. The Haunting of Sunshine Girl.
I do not know anything about that.
I can't say I haven't heard of that one.
She's got a YouTube channel now, but it was all publicity on Facebook to basically launch this girl's acting career. And she did a good job. I mean, I was thoroughly entertained by it all.
What happened in the video?
Just weird shit occurring. Yeah,
doors and shit opening.
Yeah, figures mysteriously being there one minute and then not the next. But it was all done on a professional level.
Oh, wait a minute. What does a professional level mean? I'm like, I have a professional camera right there. I mean,
like the kind of thing you'd expect on a movie.
Really good editing.
Yeah.
Well, shit, I got a television camera right there. This was used to film television shows. So, I mean...
Yeah. A lot of times she's going down, she hears a noise downstairs, she's going downstairs, and you get the strange noises, and then interference, and then you get the figure like appear, and then disappear. A lot of it was to do with the atmospherics, I think. Atmospherics are very important in that kind of thing, aren't they?
Well, I mean, like I said, it's all. I mean, see, look, that's literally one of my cameras right there. That's just one of my cameras. So, I mean, just because, you know, you have good equipment doesn't mean that's going to be real.
You've got to know what you're doing. That's why I said it was done pretty professionally, because the atmospherics was really spot on. And the scripting and the acting.
Oh, we already talked about Black Eyed Kids. I believe they started in the 80s and sold bullshit like Slender Man, which that started off Creepypasta, which is a fake website.
No, I know it is, but that Slender Man shit, the only reason I even care about it is those two girls that stabbed that fucking other girl.
Yes, that is true too. They wanted to invoke the Slender Man so that he would take those two with him, or he would take those two with him wherever he went.
Slender Man made me do it.
It was really weird. But I think we're gonna wrap this up because I'm going to hang out a little bit after hours here, and you're in Germany, right? So I don't want to keep you up too late. So show your channel real quick. Tell everybody where to find you, and we'll wrap this up.
Well, you can find me on YouTube or Twitter at DDF Ghost Hunting. Just search that, and you can find everything I do. I do paranormal investigation, true paranormal investigations. I actually debunk, unlike paranormal investigators. And then I actually go on YouTube and debunk other people's YouTube videos of their evidence. So that would be what I do.
I have you now.
Yeah.
That mansion in your on your profile pic, that's a good one. I like that.
Are you on Twitter or
Twitter? Yeah, manor.
Yeah, that one's what's it called? They filmed a Rammstein music video there. I forget the name of it right now. Like I said, I'm a little out there already.
Well, no, it's all good. Thank you everybody very much for showing up. Especially the panel here that we've been talking with, and also the viewers, of course. This has been the Redeye stream number 176. Good night, good luck, and don't fucking go to France. We're out of here. Peace.